Hello friends and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. In this episode I will give you the buyer's guide for the Cervelo R5 road bike, and then at the end I will give you my opinion, should you just go ahead and buy it or should you just consider this bike. And this was basically inspired by a question I recently got from one viewer about should I just buy this Cervelo R5 bike. So as you look at Tour de France this year, 2022, there is a huge possibility that Jonas Vingegaard from Team Jumbo-Visma is going to win Tour de France, and of course Team Jumbo-Visma is using Cervelo Bikes, so they are using Cervelo R5 bikes for the climbing stages and also Cervelo S5 bikes for the more flat stages. So this Cervelo R5 bike is probably going to be very famous by winning Tour de France this year. So, first thing first, let's answer the question, who is this bike for? So as you look at the Cervelo R5 platform, this is a proper, lightweight, stiff climbing machine. So there are no excuses with this bike. They've made it as light and as stiff as possible. So if you are in the market for this type of the climbing machine, then definitely you should have a look at Cervelo R5 range. Also, this year's model for the 2022 is the fourth iteration of this bike, so Cervelo definitely knows what they are doing when it comes to these lightweight climbing machines. So the model that I'm going to review today is specifically going to be the Cervelo R5 with the Ultegra Di2 build. And the retail price of this bike is absolutely eye-watering, $9,000. I think this is one of the most expensive bikes I have ever, reviewed on this channel, but it is what it is with this Cervelo R5 bike. So, what kind of paint schemes at least do you get for $9,000? Well, there is a choice of two paint schemes on this bike. One is this very classical black paint scheme, and then you have this kind of lime black, so with a hint of kind of black and green, which is a beautiful paint scheme, and I would definitely go with this lime black paint scheme. Of course, in my opinion, Cervelo should have offered at least another paint scheme on this bike because the retail price is $9,000. So now we can dive into the specifications of this bike and really see what do you get for your hard-earned money. And as always, we can kick off with the frame and the fork on this bike. So the frame is a carbon fiber frame from Cervelo, and also the fork is the carbon fork from Cervelo with the tapered carbon steer. This carbon frame and the fork, of course, have 12mm through axles, both front and the back, and also flat mount disc brakes. I will mention here that Cervelo offers a lifetime warranty on their carbon fiber frames for the first owner, so just keep that in mind. It's always very nice. Similar like, brands Trek, Specialized, Giant, Merida, all of them do this lifetime warranty, and definitely they should offer a lifetime warranty when the retail price is so high at $9,000. Now let's talk about the wheel set on this bike, because you have a choice of two wheels. The first choice is the reserve wheel set with DT370 hubs, and then you also have a reserve wheel set, but this time with the Zip 76176 hubs. In my opinion, I would definitely go with the reserve wheel set with DT Swiss 370 hubs, just because I'm a huge fan of DT Swiss and they make excellent hubs. So if you look at this reserve 34-37 wheel set, it is a carbon fiber wheel set, and if you are buying it on the open market, it will cost you $1,800. If you are choosing the reserve wheel set with DT Swiss hubs, so 370 hubs, expected to be approximately 1,400 grams. And also this carbon wheel set has an internal width of 23 millimeters, and also the depth of the front wheel is 34 millimeters, and then the rear one is 37 millimeters with the 24 spokes. Absolutely very impressive wheel set, there's no question about it, and also reserve offers you a lifetime warranty on this wheel set. This wheelset will be wrapped in the Vittoria Corsa tubeless tires. Also, the wheelset is tubeless compatible, but of course, I'm guessing you will need to provide your own tubeless tape and the valve, or this is something you can check with the Cervelo dealer. But these tires, Vittoria Corsa 25C tires, okay, I understand why they use 25mm tires, because they want to make this bike as light as possible. But what I would suggest you is that if you want a bit more air volume and just a bit more smooth ride, then definitely once when you destroy these tires, fit any type of 28mm tires on this bike. Now let's talk about the group set on the bike. So everything from front mech, rear mech and the shifters is a superb Shimano Ultegra Di2 electronic group set. I absolutely have no complaints about this group set. It's going to work perfectly fine, and it's an absolutely superb electronic group set from Shimano. This is a 12-speed group set. It is a semi-wireless group set where, shifters and the front mech are communicating wirelessly, and then the front mech and the rear mech are connected with the cable. So it's a bit different from SRAM wireless group sets where all the components are fully wireless. This is kind of a semi-wireless group set from Shimano, but again, superb group set, no complaints here. Now when you look at the crankset on this bike, you will get again a superb Shimano Ultegra crankset. This is 5236 crankset. The chain is the Shimano's M8100, so this is the 12-speed chain from the mountain bike world, Shimano XT chain, absolutely fine, no problems here. In the future you can use any 12-speed chain from Shimano, no problems there. And also I will just mention that the cassette is also Shimano's Ultegra cassette, 12-speed cassette 1130. So you have a 1130 cassette and 5236 chain rings at the front. So definitely you should be able to climb any steep mountain, but if there are any problems, it's very easy to upgrade this cassette and buy 1132 cassette. Now let's talk about the handlebar and the stem on this bike. So you are getting a carbon fiber handlebar and the stem from Cervelo. And the good thing is here that these are separate pieces. They are not a proprietary piece, so it's very easy to adjust your position on the bike. And also, if you need to replace any of these pieces in the future or upgrade, it's very easy to do because, again, separate pieces, nothing is proprietary. When we talk about the braking performance on this bike, so what are you getting? You are getting, again, superb Shimano's Ultegra hydraulic disc brakes, 160mm braking rotors front and the back, and these are the Shimano's, again, from the mountain bike world, MT800 braking rotors. Again, on the level of Shimano XT braking rotors, again, superb rotors, ice-tech, ice-freezer technology, 160mm front and the back will definitely have an excellent heat dissipation. In the future, of course, you can use the mountain bike rotors from Shimano range like these ones, or you can, buy the classical Shimano Ultegra or the Shimano Dura-Ace braking rotors. When you look at the seat post and the saddle on this bike, seat post is going to be classical Cervelo SP24 carbon seat post, soaking up all the small road bumps. And when you look at the saddle, again, you have a choice of two saddles. One is the Prologo Scratch M5, and another one is Selle Italia Flight. Both saddles are absolutely excellent. I have no preference here. It's totally up to you. Whichever you choose, I think it's going to be an excellent saddle. All in all, I was also expecting Cervelo to claim what's the total weight of this bike, but again, I would expect it in some kind of size 56 or 58. This will probably, be somewhere of about 7.5 kilograms to 8 kilograms bike. Always keep in mind, for example, that professionals at Tour de France can drop their bike weight all the way down to 6.8 kilograms, although from everything I know, majority of the professionals are riding somewhere around 7.2 kilogram bikes, these kind of climbing machines. So all in all, in the summary, what would be my recommendation to you? Considering this Cervelo R5 Ultegra Di2 bike, should you just go ahead and buy it, or should you just consider it? Because again, the retail price is $9,000. Well, my advice is that you should just consider this Cervelo R5 bike, because when you look at the competition from, let's say, Giant, from Merida, from Scott. They can do these types of climbing bikes with Shimano Ultegra Di2 group set for much less money, and also a few of them can also include carbon fiber wheel set in it. So I think that this Cervelo R5 with a retail price of $9,000 is just a bit, too spicy, too eye-watering price. So this is gonna be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, please keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!